Greetings, sports fans nationwide. You've entered the Sports Opinion Log here in Lex Anderson World. And in this video, NBA trades, rumors, but I needed to be official like Kleenex tissue. The Lakers got better. James Harden turns down $100 million guaranteed dollars for the possibility of reuniting with Durant in the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to tell you why that will not make them a contender, and the Bucks get robbed by the Pelicans, and why it still doesn't matter because they and Greek Freak will never see the NBA Finals, and I will explain why. So if you're down with all things NBA, Laker Nation all day, every day, East Coast, West Coast, it matters not. But what does matter is that you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to stay notified for all upcoming future sports videos. Now let me break down the trades and which ones will work. Let's go. So of course, the toast of the town, which needs to be acknowledged first and foremost, representing Laker Nation all day, every day, 24/7. The Lakers got that much more dangerous in offense, acquiring Dennis Schroeder from OKC, giving up in the process Danny Green, bye-bye, so long, farewell, and a 21st round draft pick. That's great. And also now, OKC, it is official, CP3. CP0, as I call him, because he's never made it to the NBA Finals in his storied career. He is now in Phoenix playing for the Suns. Let's see how that'll work. However, in my opinion, Chris Paul and Devin Booker, is that championship? No, we know it's not. Is it playoffs? Well, he already left a team that was left for dead when he first got there, OKC, and we saw how he and the Thunder worked it out, CP3. So let's see. The Suns get Chris Paul, Abdel Nader, but OKC gets Kelly Oubre Jr., a vital part, Ricky Rubio, experienced point guard, Ty Jerome, Jalen Lecque, and a 2022 first-round pick. So clearly, the Thunder made good. They are great at harvesting young talent and making them perennial all-stars, potential superstars. Let's not forget the early years of Westbrook, Harden, Durant. They have a knack. Victor Oladipo, again, from OKC, now with the Indiana Pacers, where supposedly he wants out of there, but he's saying that he's okay with them. Let's see what the future holds. Milwaukee Bucks, they're playing the role of movers and shakers, but is it all going to pan out in the end? So far, they've acquired Bogdanovic in a sign and trade, so the Bucks are going to get shooting guard Bogdan Bogdanovic and shooting guard Justin James. The Kings are going to get shooting guard Dante DiVicino and power forward Ersan Yasova and power forward DJ Wilson. Okay, great. It's middle of the line because no one cares about the Bucks or their fan base, and Greek Freak will always do what he does best. He will come up small in the playoffs. He will fail to get to where he needs to be, which is NBA Finals. We don't care about his defensive player and MVP because it came with nothing memorable playoff-wise. So it doesn't matter. Greek Freak, I think I'm just going to have to do what the prophet does best. Make my decree. Look for Greek Freak to still leave the Milwaukee Bucks. And you know why? Because they got robbed blind by the Pelicans in trade for Jrue Holiday. Now, don't get me wrong. Jrue Holiday is a great, exceptional player. But come on. The Bucks get him a 2020 second rounder. But look at what the Pelicans get from the Milwaukee Bucks. Point guards Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, 2020 first rounder, 2024 first round swap rights, 2025 first rounder, 2026 first round swap rights, 2027 first rounder. That is ridiculous. They basically gave away the store for Jrue Holiday, who is good, but he's not that elite where you basically stockpile the New Orleans Pelicans for the immediate future. And that, sports fans nationwide, is the most damning thing of all. So again, Greek Freak, look for him to leave. Will he come out west and join the Warriors? Will he bandwagon? Will he be a bandwagon biatch and go with the Miami Heat? Let's see. But I'm just going to decree and leave it at that. I look for Greek Freak to still leave the Bucks because his best player is who? Chris Middleton, who's earning 178 million for what? Basically, it makes no sense. But the purpose for this video is for me, the prophet who made my decree earlier when it first happened that Harden and Westbrook would never gel. They would never amount to nothing. They weren't championship material because they're jet setters. They're living high in life with their respective 200 plus $1 million contracts. Each man is a $41 million man next season. And like I tell the sports fans who I engage with, don't forget when the Rockets lost to the Lakers, Harden said that they were one piece away. How can you be one piece away when you got rid of Clint Capella? You and your teammate both are earning $82 million next year. Where do you think this one piece is coming from? So I'm not surprised that Westbrook is unhappy and wants to move on. And if he goes to Charlotte, we could just say, bye-bye, so long, motherfucking farewell, because you will never be seen or heard from again unless it's a Sports Center highlight with a triple-double. But you're basically giving up the national stage if he goes to Charlotte. Now, Harden clearly, again, must have a lot of bank to have rejected a potential 2-year extension to potentially make him the first NBA player to earn $50 million in guaranteed money. Sports fans nationwide, this is what I'm talking about. High stakes, coronavirus, pandemic. The NBA lost over $6.5 billion, but yet the Houston Rockets are trying to extend Harden at $50 million per for 2 seasons. He's rejecting it for the chance to get reunited in Brooklyn. Why in Brooklyn? Because guess who's there? Assistant coach Mike D'Antoni, who made him the prolific high scorer that he is with Houston. It all makes sense. But however, there's talks that Harden isn't wanted by Kyrie, but he's wanted by Durant, who of course played with him in OKC. Now, this is the reason why, even if this trade somehow does go the way it's supposed to and Harden forms a big three in the East, we could just bury the Bucks, which is why Greek Freak would have to leave if Harden comes to the Brooklyn Nets. Shout out to my boy Gold's Conditioning, the Brooklyn Nets resident fan here in the Sports Opinion Log. Oh my goodness. Or even if Harden goes to the Sixers, there's talk of the Sixers. The Sixers have wasted $300 to $400 million on trash-ass players. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons still can't shoot a three, injury prone. Embiid has chronic health issues. He can't stay healthy. Tobias Harris, why the fuck was he ever given between 160 and 180? I have no fucking idea. Al Horford, why was he given $100 million when he's old and useless as fuck? I have no idea. So you can't say that Harden can join the Sixers and you're keeping that team intact. Someone would have to go. I don't know. Ben Simmons, he has no three-point shot, so you could just let him go. And again, he got hurt on a non-contact play. He's injury prone. Get him out of here. Make it the Harden and Embiid show. Maybe that could work. It's a possibility that it could work. But I don't like Brooklyn because Durant and Kyrie are both injury prone. Kyrie Irving, former Duke player, he's an oddball. He's a head case. He's an egomaniac. He's egotistical. He's a narcissist. He wants the world to revolve around him. And if you have a ball hog like Harden on your team, that means you don't need Kyrie Irving. So again, someone would have to go. I would honestly try to move Kyrie Irving because you are who you are. And the characteristics of Kyrie Irving is that he is a quitter. He quit on LeBron James and the Cavs and he left. He went to Boston. He quit on Boston in the playoffs. And again, I represent Laker Nation all day, every day, 24/7. So it will always be fuck Boston. But the shame and humiliation of a all-star, a superstar, quitting during the playoffs. And then, of course, he forces his way to Brooklyn, suffers a little injury, little leg something, that, of course, should have been a week, but winds up being a coronavirus, COVID-19, NBA shortened season. And even with the gap, he still couldn't be available for the bubble, but then again, he was crying about not wanting to play in the bubble anyway. See? Malcontent, egotistical, not a team first player, individual, egocentric, Kyrie Irving. It wouldn't work and it won't work. So, whatever happens, let it happen. But the point of the matter is, the prophet will decree Brooklyn Nets will not work. Someone will have to go. Sixers, it will not work. Someone will have to go from the Sixers. I would get rid of Al Horford, honestly, and Ben Simmons. And I would throw in Tobias Harris because he was horrible when Jimmy Butler was scorching the Sixers in the NBA bubble. But the real threat, sports fans nationwide, is that it is my and your LA Lakers, top tier, Schroeder, Avery Bradley. Hey, Rajon Rondo might go to the Clippers. Who cares? The Clippers, as long as they have Paul George, will never be shit. So it doesn't even really matter. We are armed, we are dangerous, and of course, the talks of AD opting out. Of course, sheeple, because you have to pay that man the big term contract extension that he deserves when he came to LA, made an immediate impact, complimenting LeBron, and it resulted in an NBA championship once again for my and your LA Lakers. And of course, there's talks of Serge Ibaka potentially joining the Lakers. The bandwagon. This is what I'm talking about. The rumors are becoming official, and then we're just left swirling in the wind with the other bullshit. And I'm calling bullshit right now on Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. This is truly who's got the connections to do the behind-the-scene maneuvers that are needed to move, dump, and get rid of all these high, exorbitant contracts. And honestly, the Rockets are better off by moving on from Westbrook and Harden, two players that need the ball, hog the ball, and got dominated in the NBA bubble by one man. And that one man was the chosen one. It was the king. We are all witnesses still to this day, 15 years later, LeBron James doing what he does best, and that was serving notice. Last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, he says it's winning time, and it was winning time as the Lakers beat them to become my and your 2020 NBA champions. Thank you very much, sports fans nationwide, for tuning in. If you've come this far into the video, it only makes sense to do the right thing. Make the commitment. Subscribe to the channel. Bell icon. Notifications for future videos when they drop. Lex Anderson, signing out.